Welcome to the Seminole County 4-H Horse Record Book Training. If this is your first year in the horse program, your horse record book can seem complex and overwhelming. This training will help you to better understand why it is important to track your horse throughout the 4-H year and learn how to properly document your records in each section of your record book. Each year, 4-Hers across the state that own or lease a 4-H project horse must complete a Florida 4-H horse record book. The book is a way for you to set goals for the year, track your finances, and see just what it really takes to care for a horse. If you're wanting to own your own horse one day, this will show you what it really costs to care for a horse. If you are wanting to apply for a 4-H horse scholarship at the county or state level, you will need to turn in your record book with your scholarship application to be evaluated. The picture to the left is what the title page of the record book looks like. You will need to fill in the information at the bottom of the page. If you have not started your record book for the year, you can click on the direct link to download your book. You can also find the link to the horse record book on UF's Department of Animal Sciences webpage in the bottom right-hand box under Associated Links. As you can see, this webpage is also a great resource for many 4-H horse-related topics, including dressage tests, show dates, official rules, and more. At the beginning of the 4-H year, or when you first get your project horse, you will want to start by setting your training objectives for the year. Write down these objectives on page 16 of your record book. Talk to your trainer and your 4-H leader to help you decide on 2 to 3 challenging but realistic goals. One way to do this is to use the SMART goals method. SMART goals should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. One example of a SMART goal would be, I will decrease my barrel time by 5 seconds before the Area East show by doing barrel training drills with my horse at least twice a week. Once you've set your training objectives, you will need to take stock of all the equipment you are starting out with. On page 3 of your record book, you'll find an inventory page. Any horses or ponies that you own or lease during the 4-H year, you will want to write down here. If you own your own horse, you will write down how much the animal is worth. If you lease your own horse, you will need to write down the cost to lease your horse for the year. Once you've recorded the value of your horse, you'll need to take stock of all the equipment you are starting out with. Equipment that you own is called an asset. An asset is an item that has value. For example, your saddle has value. You could sell it for money. On page 4 of your record book, you will write down all the tack, equipment, and supplies that you start out with for the year and its value. Be careful writing down the value. If you have a used saddle, you should put down the current value of the saddle, not what it would cost if it were brand new. Other examples would be bridles, saddles, combs, brushes, any types of medicines, hay nets, riding jackets, and more. Throughout the 4-H year, you will make purchases for your project. You will need to write down these purchases on page 5 of your record book. This page is for the purchase of horses, tack, equipment, and more. Feed, show fees, and monthly leases do not go on this page. Items that you use, such as shampoo or throw away like a broken lead rope, will have a current value of 0. Larger items such as saddles and other equipment will also lose some value. This is called depreciation. An example is if your parents buy a $10,000 horse trailer, that's the purchase price. But after you drive it and the trailer gets some wear and tear, this decreases the value of the trailer. That's the depreciation. Have your leader or parent help you estimate the percentage that the item depreciates for the year. So for example, we take our $10,000 horse trailer and we estimate that 5% depreciation for the year. That totals out to be $500 loss just from wear and tear. To figure out what the current value is, you'll subtract the original price of $10,000 minus the depreciation value of $500 to get $9,500 as the current value. Moving on to the health of your horse, pages 6 and 7 of your record book contain tables to help you keep track of the different health-related expenses that you will have throughout the year. It is also a great way to keep track of what medications your horse has been prescribed. If you lease your horse and you do not pay the medical expenses, or it is covered in your lease, ask the owner for the horse's health information. This will let you see how much medical attention horses need throughout the year. The vaccination table in the top left corner is very important. Horses are susceptible to many diseases, and vaccinations help to prevent certain illnesses. Make sure to record any vaccinations that your horse gets. Under the column titled Route, you'll need to record how the medication was given. Some examples are intramuscular, subcutaneous, intravenous, and oral. The descriptions for these routes are described on the PowerPoint slide. While you're filling out your record book, if you come to a table that you do not have information on, you can just put NA, which stands for not applicable. For example, if you do not breed your horse during the 4-H year, you would write NA in the boxes and put $0 as your total for line 8. Pages 8 and 9 will be where you record all your feed expenses and total them on line 16. You will also record your boarding and bedding expenses on page 9. Moving on to page 10, this table is where you will record all of your expenses for your riding lessons, horse show entry fees, and related expenses. These are expenses related directly to going or doing at a horse show. If you buy a new riding jacket for an upcoming show, the price of that item will not be recorded on this page, but should be recorded on page 5 and then on page 4 if you still own the jacket at the end of the year. If you attend a horse show, make sure that you record the expenses it cost you to attend that show. This will include entry fees, gas, and possibly a hotel or camping fee. Now that we've covered expenses, let's talk about income. Income is money that you make. This can be from working part-time at a barn, winnings from a horse show, animals you sell, or tack that you sell. The top table on page 11 is where you will list money you earned by doing something. This is your labor summary. For example, you make $50 at a horse show by breeding. That is work that you did. If you have a consistent job throughout the year, like working at a barn, you do not have to write down every time that you get paid. Instead, you can write down your total income for the year from that specific job. The bottom table is for items, property, or animals that you sold. If you do not sell anything throughout the year, make sure that you write NA in the table. At the end of the 4-H year, you will need to complete page 12 of your record book. This is your summary page that will help you total up all of your income and expenses for the year. Before you can fill out this page, you will need to go back and total all of your individual pages. Net project expense and income is the total amount of money you gained or lost during the year. If your total expenses is more than your income, your final number will be a negative number, indicating a loss. In the final pages of your record book, pages 13 to 19, you will tell us about what you've learned and experienced this year through your horse project. Make sure to add photographs with complete captions that describe what you are doing or learning about. Some advice about your pictures: make sure to take pictures throughout the year. You don't want all of the pictures in your record book to be from the same day with you wearing the same clothes. Finally, your project story is where you tell us how hard you've worked this year, what you've learned, accomplished, and the obstacles you've overcome. This is your time to brag about you and your horse. Finally, don't let all your hard work go to waste. Make sure you turn your record book into the 4-H office to receive recognition at our annual awards night. The information that you write down in your record book also helps your 4-H agent show the importance of the horse program to our donors and supporters. One final pointer: make sure that you get your leader's signature and turn your record book in on time. 4-H members that do not turn in a record book for the current 4-H year will not be allowed to participate in the upcoming year's 4-H horse shows.